This is how your own assumptions can derail your hypnotherapy or coaching session completely. So I'm going to give you an example. I had a Master Unconscious Moments workshop a couple of days ago, and we had a live demonstration. And during that demonstration, a client basically was a real problem with a real client, and the client basically said that we had a void somewhere in their head. Okay, and I've asked a question like, when did this void appear? Like, when did you start feeling this void in your head? And she said, oh, I think I felt it throughout all of my life, all the time. And when I was asked the question, I said, so okay, so was it there when you were born? And this was the most significant question, because this question actually made the void go away. And this is how basically emotionally she didn't feel a need to fill in that void with her binge eating anymore. So basically because it was a workshop, I had other hypnotherapists and coaches observe and learn from that live demonstration. And one of the coaches asked me a question. Why did I ask whether she had that void when she was born? Because in her mind and from her spiritual teachings, she would have assumed that she was born with the void from some sort of a different spiritual perspectives. Because she said something around that, in Buddhism they teach how, people suffer and then we come into this life with suffering. So she would have straight away assumed that she was born with it and she had a void from, pre-birth. And this would have completely derailed the session, because one of the reasons the void went away is because I got her to establish the point when it actually appeared. And if I just assumed that it was always there, it was from some sort of another realm, pre-birth, and I was like getting into my assumptions about the spiritual tendencies and my own spiritual beliefs, this would have completely derailed my session. So basically, when you're in advanced conversational hypnosis session, and really I think it applies for any session, really, coaching session or other type of hypnotherapy session, if you go in with your own assumptions, you are not gonna explore the problem to a T. Like you're gonna go like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So the void was always there. So it means they were born with a void. This is the way, is whatever Buddha said at some point. No, you have to go with a blank mind. You have no assumptions. You have no attachment to a problem, to anything that comes up. You stay curious, like why it's there. It wasn't there because of the suffering of humanity. It was something that her mind created at some point in time. And when she realized this, that made this void completely disappear. Literally after this question, she just went all tranced out, processing, and then she came out and said, oh, it's not there anymore. I think it disappeared. So another assumption I could have made before that void disappeared, that I could have pushed her into filling the void with self-love or whatever, to like replace the binge eating. But again, this is not my solution. I shouldn't be telling my client what to do. Her solution in her mind was for the void to completely disappear. She didn't need to fill in with anything. She didn't need to fill in with self-love so that she doesn't need the chocolate or the crisps or, whatever binge food she was binging before. But you go in with curiosity, you go in with a skill to understand when the processing is happening, what's happening with your client at any point in time in your session, and you have a major breakthrough And in this case, this breakthrough happened in about 30 minutes in. So can you imagine how much time you would save, or even how much it would change your practice if you didn't have to apply any tools, try get into your own head and thinking about why this is it, and assuming about different spiritual beliefs that we all have. And you were just curious and you were applying the therapy principles. You were spotting unconscious moments, and you were kind of directing and guiding your clients to find their own solutions to the problem. So if you're intrigued about what was going on in my Master Unconscious Moments workshop, you can still purchase a replay, and I'm gonna keep the price the same as it was, only £11, before it goes to the Udemy course. So this is your time to snap it up for only £11 and learn about what to do and what not to do in your sessions.